Ini adalah cerita tentang jejak langkah, perjalanan anak bangsa menjelajahi tradisi kesempurnaan, merangkul perubahan demi menjadi yang terdepan. Perjalanan itu dimulai lebih dari seabad yang lalu, saat Bapak Lim Sengti mendirikan Sampurna di Surabaya.
Hello everyone, we are Syndicate 3 from MBI ITB YP67C. Today we're gonna present you about scenario planning of PTHM Sampurna TBK. This is our group. Syndicate 3 consists of 4 people. That is Kresnanda Ali, myself, Kalasha, Maura, and Hari. The presentation is gonna consist of about the scenario planning background, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and stage 5. The company background of PTHM Sampurna. PTHM Sampurna, 35% of Indonesian tobacco market is held by PTHM Sampurna, established in 27 March 1905. And PTHM Sampurna is operate 7 manufacturing facilities. And what happened with PTHM Sampurna? The profit they have is decreasing. About scenario planning. Scenario planning is consists of 5 steps. That is orientation, key focal issue, exploration, driving force, and critical uncertainty, scenario element, implication and option, and the last step is integration.
Scenario planning, stage 1, orientation, key focal issues. So in this stage, we try to see how our government regulation affect PT Sampurna profit in the next 5 years. Stage 2, exploration, driving forces. So in this stage, we try to identify all of factors that have significant impact towards our key focal issues. We try to see from 3 aspects of driving forces. The first one is organizational, consists of management strategy, business development capability, technological capability, and human resource capability. For transactional, consists of customer demand, market price, competitor strategy, and raw material vendors. For contextual, consists of people purchasing power, customer behavior, government regulation, and technology development. Stage 2, exploration, critical uncertainties. So in this stage, we try to visualize all of driving forces indicator into 2 axes. It's about uncertainty and impact. So we can see we choose market price and government regulation as the most critical uncertainties because it's related towards our key focal issues. So for government regulation, we choose this indicator because it has the most uncertainty and the most impact. And for market price, we choose this indicator because it's related to profit PT Sampurna.
Hello, my name is Harry, and now we carry on to the stage 3, which is scenarios and element of each quadrant. As mentioned before, the parameters presented will be government regulation on the x-axis and the market price as a factor for the y-axis. When the market price is high, but the government regulation is low, there are 2 things that could happen. Those things are 1, the threat of substitute, and 2 is a high production. This one quadrant we consider as a challenge or a challenging situation because there are competitors showing up on the market, which meant there will be rivalries, and if we can come out of this situation, we'll be better for it. On the second quadrant is when the market price is high, but the government regulation is also somewhat strict. For this situation, in our opinion, there are 2 things that could happen. First one is consistent in production and fair competition in the market because everyone is regulated the same as we do. This quadrant is favorable in our opinion because everyone is in the same condition as we do. In fact, if the situation is exploited well, we could have a breakthrough that will put us ahead of our other competitors. For the third quadrant is when the market price is low or decreasing, while government regulation is also not as regulated or not as tight. There are two things that could happen in this situation. First, the price war between companies, because there will be a drop in price, and it will start an effect where everyone will also follow the first one who dropped the price because no one wants to lose the momentum in the market competition. On the second one, there will be lack of innovation. Why? We think that since the price war, everyone will be so busy with it that there will be no room for improvement of product. And as mentioned before, we can consider this quadrant to be a no excitement quadrant, since it will be because everything will be about who can sell with the cheapest price instead of creating new innovations. For the fourth quadrant is what we can call as a chaos. Why? Because in this quadrant, the government regulation is high, but the market price is low, which could create a static market condition. And since regulation is high and selling price is also really low, this condition will drive the cost of production higher, which meant there will be slim profit for the company. So we couldn't be in this situation.
In the next stage, we will talk about what are the implications about PT Sampurna and what PT Sampurna could do to respond to each condition when four scenarios occurred. The first one is the quadrant of challenge, when the market price is increasing while the government regulation is loosened or low. The possible implication to PT Sampurna are low demand and high inventory. Why is it high in inventory? Because in the condition where the market price is increasing and the government regulation is low, there will be a high production because they have more flexibility in growing their sales. Since it is high in production, but there will be likely a low in the demand because of the high market price, then the inventory will be high. Thus, the options to overcome or to respond to these implications are doing budget allocation strategy, expand new target market for new product with lower COGS, and to implement the first in, first out business model. The second option is favorable. When the market price is increasing and so does the government regulation, the possible implication to PT Sampurna are equal growth and sustainable business for the company. Why is this likely to happen? Because if the market price is increasing and so does the government regulation is tightened, there will be a fair competition and the growth of the company will likely be more projected to this situation. Thus, the options to respond to these implications are first, doing product innovation through R&D or research and development, and to develop a competitive strategy to maintain the position of PT Sampurna as market leader in this industry. The third quadrant is no excitement. When the market price is decreasing and so does the government regulation is loosened or low, the possible implication to PT Sampurna is the possibility of decreasing market share and low quality of cigarette, since there will be a price war that already explained in stage 3. Thus, the options to overcome or to respond to these implications are to increase the company production efficiency and quality. For the example, is to using more automation. This will reduce the cost of labor and it is a good investment ahead. Second, rather than to lowering the price, in winning the price war, PT Sampurna could develop a new product of cigarettes or differentiation to their product. Or, to gain more profit, they could expand the business to other scope. The last quadrant is the chaos. When the market price is decreasing and the government regulation is highly regulated, the possible implication to PT Sampurna are low in profit because their market activity is decreasing and stagnant in their business growth, or we can say business as usual. PT Sampurna will have low in flexibility if their profit is low, but with a highly regulated environment, that's why their business will be in stagnant state. Thus, the options to respond to these implications are first, do a budget efficiency to maintain the inflow and outflow of the budget since they are tight on budget, and to do the employee development program to push the growth of their company through the creativity from their human resource to create a more progressive strategy.
Back with me, Harry. Now we can continue to the stage 5. In the stage 5, we can see the early warning signs that can be seen in a more general way. For the first quadrant, the early warning signs are high sunk costs. Why? Since there would be wasted product in storage because of such a high production. And shifting consumer behavior should be observable because there would be substitution product showing up in the market. The signs we can observe for early sign on the second quadrant will be consistent in our own production and fair competition in the market. And for the third quadrant, there will be low investment amount made by company since price war and low amount of development carried out by the company. Last but not least, for the fourth quadrant, in our opinion, there should be a decrease in the GDP